You know, central judiciary is called Supreme Court. Supreme Court. So we are going to discuss about Supreme Court. So it is called Union Judiciary. Union Judiciary. So we are going to explain about Union Judiciary, also called Supreme Court. Also called Supreme Court, Union Judiciary. You know, according to 1773 Regulating Act. So according to 1773 Regulating Act, okay, 1773 Regulating Act introduced Supreme Court in India.
వెల్కమ్ టు హర్షిత్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్. ఒక చిన్న నోటిఫికేషన్తో మీ ముందుకు రావడం అనేది జరిగిందండి. ఎవరైతే గ్రూప్ 2 ప్రిలిమ్స్ పాస్ అయ్యి మెయిన్స్కి సిద్ధపడుతున్నారో, మెయిన్స్ ప్రిపేర్ అవుతున్నారో వాళ్ళందరికీ కూడా ఒక గుడ్ న్యూస్ ఏంటంటే, మన హర్షిత్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్లో ఆల్రెడీ 3rd బ్యాచ్ 3 బ్యాచెస్ దిగ్విజయంగా రన్ అవుతున్నాయి. 4th బ్యాచ్ అనేది స్టార్ట్ అయింది. ఈరోజే 4th బ్యాచ్ అనేది స్టార్ట్ అయింది. తప్పనిసరిగా మీలో ఎవరైనా సరే ప్రిలిమ్స్ క్రాక్ చేసి మెయిన్స్ కనుకున్నట్లయితే, ప్రిపేర్ అవుతున్నట్లయితే మన హర్షిత్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ని చూస్ చేసుకోండి. తద్వారా మీరు తప్పనిసరిగా జాబ్ కూడా సంపాదించడానికి అవకాశం అనేది ఉంటుంది. ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్, మనం ఏ విధమైన టైం టేబుల్ ఫాలో అవుతున్నామో ఇంట్లో మీకు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను. మార్నింగ్ 7 to 2 వరకు కూడా క్లాసెస్ ఉంటాయండి, రెగ్యులర్ క్లాసెస్ ఉంటాయి. 2 తర్వాత 2 to 3 1 అవర్ బ్రేక్ ఉంటుంది. 3 నుంచి స్టడీ అవర్స్ ఉంటాయి. మరలా 5 to 6 ఎగ్జామ్ ఉంటుంది, యూనిట్ వైజ్ ఎగ్జామ్ ఉంటుంది. అలాగే యూనిట్ వైజ్ ఎగ్జామ్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత పేపర్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఉంటుంది. అయిపోయిన తర్వాత నైట్ 10 o'clock వరకు స్టడీ అవర్స్ ఉంటాయండి. ఇటువంటి సిస్టమేటిక్ టైం టేబుల్ని ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లో ఉన్నటువంటి ఏ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ కూడా ఫాలో అవ్వట్లేదేమో అనిపిస్తుంది. కాబట్టి తప్పనిసరిగా మన ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ని మీరు చూస్ చేసుకోండి. నెక్స్ట్ ఇక మనకి సిలబస్ విషయంగా వచ్చేటప్పటికి మీరు చేయవలసిన ప్రధానమైనటువంటి అంశం ఏంటంటే, ఒక ఏపీఎస్సీని పక్కన పెట్టి మిగిలినటువంటి వాటిలో ఏపీఎస్సీ చదవండి. దానికి కరెంట్ యాడ్ చేయవలసినటువంటి అవసరం ఉండదు. కానీ అదేవిధంగా మనకు పాలిటీ కానీ, ఏపీ ఎకానమీ, ఇండియన్ ఎకానమీ, సైన్స్ అండ్ టెక్నాలజీ, వీటికి తప్పనిసరిగా కరెంటు యాడ్ చేయడానికి, దట్ మీన్స్ కరెంట్ పాలిటీ, కరెంట్ ఎకానమీ, కరెంట్ సైన్స్ అండ్ టెక్నాలజీ, వీటిని గత 1 సంవత్సరం నుంచి జరుగుతున్న అంశాలన్నింటినీ కూడా క్రోడీకరించి చదివినట్లయితేనే మనం సక్సెస్ అవుతాము. ఈ విషయాలన్నీ కూడా మన స్టాఫ్, మనకున్నటువంటి ఫ్యాకల్టీ అందరూ కూడా అద్భుతంగా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. చాలా సిస్టమేటిక్గా రన్ చేస్తున్నాము ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ని. చాలా సిస్టమేటిక్ క్లాసెస్ ఉన్నాయి మన దగ్గర. కాబట్టి మీరు ఈ 4th బ్యాచ్లో ఎవరైతే జాయిన్ అవ్వాలనుకుంటున్నారో తప్పనిసరిగా మన హర్షిత్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ని చూస్ చేసుకోండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. ఆల్ ద బెస్ట్.
Introduced Supreme Court in India. First Supreme Court was introduced in India in 1774 according to 1773 Act. First Supreme Court was introduced in 1774 according to 1773 Act. What is 1773 Act? Regulating Act. East India Company, in the period of East India Company, this Regulating Act was introduced, right? According to Regulating Act, first Supreme Court was introduced. Okay, so first Supreme Court was established in Calcutta, William Fort. It was introduced in William Fort. So first Supreme Court was established in Calcutta, that is in William Fort. Okay, in 1774. Here, 1 Chief Justice and 3 other judges are there. 1 Chief Justice and 3 other judges. So, Chief Justice was, first Supreme Court Chief Justice was Elijah Impey. So, Elijah Impey. So, Elijah Impey was first Chief Justice of Supreme Court. Elijah Impey was first Chief Justice of Supreme Court, which was introduced by 1770 Regulating Act, which was started in Calcutta in William Fort. So 1774. This is the information regarding Supreme Court concept in India, first Supreme Court concept in India, right? So, once again I am telling you, first Supreme Court in India is called Union Judiciary. Supreme Court is called Union Judiciary, right? So, this first Supreme Court was established by 1773 Regulating Act. Who introduced this Regulating Act? So, in the period of East India Company, British government introduced this Regulating Act. According to Regulating Act, first Supreme Court was established. Okay, where? In Calcutta. In which year? 1774. Where? In William Fort. How many judges are there? One Chief Justice and 3 other judges. Who was first Chief Justice of first Supreme Court? Elijah Impey. Elijah Impey. Now, next point. So, right. See, according to 1835 Act, in the place of Supreme Court, Federal Court was introduced. Federal Court. So, in the place of Supreme Court, according to 1935 Act, Federal Court was introduced in India. According to 1935, in the place of Supreme Court, Federal Court was introduced in India. Right? So, Federal Court means, what is the meaning of Federal Court? Federal Court means the court can solve the problems between the central and states, between the states also. So, the court can clear the problems between the central and state governments and also the problems between the state governments. This is Federal Court. According to 1935, Supreme Court became as Federal Court. Right? So, after independence, our constitution introduced Supreme Court. So, this Supreme Court has been working from 28 January 1950. So, after independence, Supreme Court was introduced by our constitution. The headquarters is in Delhi. Our Supreme Court headquarters is in Delhi. So, from 28 January 1950 onwards, our Supreme Court has been working. So, first Chief Justice H.J. Kania. Hiralal J. Kania. First Chief Justice of Supreme Court, Hiralal J. Kania. So, first one Chief Justice and 7 other judges. Whenever our Supreme Court was introduced, there were 1 Chief Justice and 7 other judges. Total 8 judges in the beginning. Right now, up to 2019, 30 other judges, 1 Chief Justice. Up to 2019, there are 30 other judges and 1 Chief Justice in our Supreme Court. But after 2009, at present, 33 other judges, 1 Chief Justice. The Chief Justice is Arvind Bobde. Right now, the Chief Justice of Supreme Court, Arvind Bobde. Present Chief Justice of Supreme Court, Arvind Bobde. Right? So, in the beginning, our Supreme Court has 1 Chief Justice and 7 other judges. Up to 2019, so gradually increasing the judges. So, who has the authority to increase and decrease the judges? Who has the authority? Parliament has the authority. Right? Parliament has the authority to increase the judges of Supreme Court, otherwise to decrease the judges of Supreme Court. So mainly Parliament has the right. Okay, so here up to 2019, 30 other judges, 1 Chief Justice were there. At present, right now, there are 33 other judges, 1 Chief Justice. Total, our Supreme Court consists 34 judges. Our Supreme Court consists 34 judges. Present Chief Justice is Aravind Bobde. Aravind Bobde. Right. See, what are the articles explaining about our Supreme Court? What are the articles explaining about our Supreme Court? See, article 5th part. What is the part? 5th part. Total union government comes under 5th part. You remember. State government 6th part. 6th part of the Constitution. All the union government concepts will be under the 5th part of the Constitution. So here in 5th part, 124 article to 147 articles. So 124 articles to 147 articles are explaining about the Supreme Court composition, qualifications, appointment, salaries, removing, etc., etc. This is 124 to 147 articles. So 124 article to 147 articles are explaining about the Supreme Court concepts in 5th part of the Constitution. Right, 5th part of the Constitution. Now, according to 124 article, the composition, already I told you, the composition. 124 is explaining about composition, qualifications, period, etc. So, according to 124 article, what is composition? Already I told you, I have explained the composition. What is the composition? So, in the beginning, there were 1 Chief Justice and 7 other judges. In the beginning, there were 1 Chief Justice and 7 other judges. But up to 2019, there are 30 other judges, 1 Chief Justice. Total 31. In the beginning, 1 plus 7. Up to 2019, 30 plus 1 plus 30. Right now, 1 plus 33. At present, there are 34 judges, including Chief Justice. Right? You know, who appoints judges of Supreme Court? Who appoints judges of Supreme Court? Yes, President of India appoints judges of Supreme Court. President of India appoints judges of Supreme Court. When he appoints Supreme Court judges, for example, he is going to appoint Chief Justice of Supreme Court. He is going to appoint Chief Justice of Supreme Court. Okay. He concerns, whenever he is going to appoint Chief Justice of Supreme Court, so he concerns retired, who is going to retire Chief Justice? Who is going to retire? So he will concern retired Chief Justice, going to retire Chief Justice. Then he can appoint Chief Justice. So totally, Chief Justice appointment depends on the seniority basis. There is collegium concept. So collegium concept means, so collegium will explain to President. So collegium means it is a group of the judges, senior group of the judges. Collegium, it is senior group of the judges. It suggests the President to appoint Chief Justice and other judges. That is called collegium. Collegium will suggest the President to appoint Chief Justice and other judges. totally Chief Justice and other judges appointment, the appointment of Chief Justice and other judges totally depends on seniority basis. Okay, by the way, President will concern retired Chief Justice of Supreme Court. So, and while appointing other judges, he will concern, Chief Justice of Supreme Court. But internally, everything will be happening by the advice of Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. This is internal concept. Prime Minister gives advice to President regarding the appointment of judges, but it is not official on paper. It is only so offline. Beyond, it will be happening behind the concept. So Prime Minister will suggest President to appoint Chief Justice and other judges. But here on paper, so he follows the collegium concepts. Okay, right. So President of India appoints Chief Justice of Supreme Court and other judges of Supreme Court. Okay. So while appointing these people, collegium will be there. Collegium will advise the President of India. Okay, and now qualifications. According to 124 article, the qualifications of Supreme Court judges. What are the qualifications? There are simple qualifications, not the much qualifications are there. Only simple qualifications. You know, first, that is, one, he should be a citizen of India. He should be a citizen of India. So, second, he should have at least 5 years experience. He should have at least 5 years experience as the judge of any high court of the country, any high court in the country. He should have at least 5 years experience as the judge of high court. Okay, so previously he has to work as a judge in any high court of India, any high court in India. So at least 5 years experience as high court judge. Or if not, if he has no this qualification, and or he should have at least 10 years experience. He should have at least 10 years experience as the advocate of any high court. Yes, any high court. So either this or this. He should have any one qualification. He should have at least 5 years experience as the judge of high court. Otherwise, he should have at least 10 years experience as the advocate of high court, lawyer. So he should have 10 years experience as advocate of high court or 5 years experience as a high court judge. So any one experience he should have. And next third point.
ఫ్రెండ్స్, మా ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్ కోసం మన హర్షిత్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి, లైక్ చేయండి, అలానే షేర్ చేయండి.